Hello everybody. In this video, I explain few problems related to Module 2 of Paper 7, that is 6th semester Module 2 of Paper 7, and which belongs to Davangere University syllabus. So in this I am going to discuss the problems on crystal structure and free electron theory of metals. So first we shall solve few problems on crystal structure. So first problem is like this. Okay, in a crystal, a plane cuts intercepts of 3A, 2B and 6C along the three crystallographic axes. Determine the Miller indices of the plane. Okay, so to determine the Miller indices, first we have to identify the intercepts made by the plane on the three crystallographic axes. So in this problem, the intercepts given are 3A along x-axis, 2B y-axis and 6C along z-axis. So next step what we have to do is, we have to divide these intercepts by their respective cell edges. Okay, so that is 3A divided by A, which is nothing but 3. So 2B divided by B, which is nothing but 2, and 6C divided by 6, which is nothing but 6. Okay, so next step what you have to do, we have to take a reciprocal of these intercepts. Okay, so reciprocals of these intercepts are 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and 1 by 6. Here are written 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and 1 by 6. Now we have to clear these fractions. 4 steps we have to follow in order to determine the Miller indices. So first step, we have to identify the intercepts, then we have to take a reciprocal of that one, and then we have to clear the fraction by using a LCM or by taking the LCM of these numbers. Okay, LCM of these numbers is 6 here, so multiply each of these ratio by 6. Okay, 6 by 3, 6 by 2, 6 by 6. So 6 by 3 is nothing but 2 and 6 by 2 is nothing but 3. 6 by 6 is 1. Therefore, the Miller indices of the plane are 2, 3, 1, which are nothing but H, K, L. Okay, so let us solve the similar type of problem here. Okay, so second one, find the Miller indices of a plane which is parallel to the y-axis. Please note a point, parallel to the y-axis, and cuts intercepts of 2 and 1 by 3 respectively along x and z axis. Okay, so in the problem what they have given is x intercept they have given as 2 and z intercept they have given as 1 by 3, but what the condition they are introduced here, which is the plane is parallel to the y-axis. Parallel to the y-axis means whose intercept must be infinity. Okay, so first what you have to do, write down the intercepts made by the plane. So along x-axis it is 2a, along y-axis it is infinity because along y-axis it is parallel. Okay, and along z-axis it is 1 by 3 times c. So next what we have to do, dividing by the respective cell edges. Okay, 2a by a, 2, infinity you write as it is, 1 by 3 into c divided by c, so which is nothing but 1 by 3. Okay, so now you take a reciprocal of these intercepts, that is 1 by 2, 1 by infinity, and reciprocal of 1 by 3 is nothing but 3 by 1, or simply you can write 3 also. Okay, now we have to clear the fraction. So to clear the fraction, what we have to do, 2 is the LCM here, multiply each of these by 2. Okay, 2 by 2. So this 1 by infinity will become 0 as it is. Okay, then 2 into 3. Okay, so 2 into 3, so it will be 2 by 2, 0, 6 by 1. So your Miller indices are 1, 0 and 6. Okay, so next we shall move on to the next problem. Okay, so each problem are different, so I have selected a different type of problem. So similar problems you can solve from the any of the textbooks which is covering a crystal structure chapter. Okay, determine the Miller indices of a plane that makes intercepts 2 angstrom, 3 angstrom, 4 angstrom on the coordinate axis of an orthorhombic crystal with A is to B is to C is equal to 4 is to 3 is to 2. Okay, So now you see these values 2 angstrom, 3 angstrom, 4 angstroms are the intercepts which includes the cell edge values. So we have to, by dividing the value by a cell edge, we will get the exact intercept made by the plane. Okay. So first you take intercepts and divide these intercepts by their cell edges. Cell edges means A is 4, B is 3 and C is 2. Okay. So divide it now. 2 by 4. Okay. Just you see here the x coordinate. This is 2 by A is 4. 3 by 3. Okay. Then 4 by 2. Okay. So it will become 1 by 2 and this will be 1 and this will be 2. Now what we have to do? Take a reciprocal of the intercepts. Okay. Reciprocal of 1 by 2 is 2. So this is 1 itself and reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2. Okay. So multiply each of these by 2. Okay. 2 into 2 is 4. 2 into 1 is 2. And 2 by 2 it will be 1. So your Miller indices are 4, 2, 1. Okay. So next problem. Find the interplanar spacing for the lattice planes of Miller indices. 3 set of planes they have given. So if you solve one plane, so it will be similar to the other 2 planes. Okay. And cubic lattice is given here. Okay. For cubic lattice with a lattice parameter A is equal to 5.62 angstroms. Okay. So the formula for interplanar spacing is given here. Okay. It is 1 divided by under root h by a whole square plus k by b whole square plus L by c whole square. And we know that for cubic system A is equal to B is equal to C. Okay. So if you substitute in all these places A, then automatically it becomes a h square plus k square plus L square divided by a square under root. So if you take that a square to the numerator, so it will become d is equal to a divided by simply h square plus k square plus L square. Now all the values are given to you. Substitute the value 5.62. No need of converting this into meters. The answer you will get in angstroms directly. Okay. So no need of making any conversion. Okay. Angstrom to meters conversion is not required here. So interplanar spacing of the plane 3, 2, 1. Okay. Here h is 3, k is 2, L is 1. Okay. 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. Do calculation, you will get answer like this. Similarly, you solve for other 2 planes also, 210 and 111. Okay. So you will get a corresponding answers as 2.513 angstrom, 3.245 angstroms. Okay. So next we shall move on to the another problem. Okay. So find the smallest glancing angle at which K alpha radiation of molybdenum of wavelength 0.5 angstrom will be reflected from calcite crystal of spacing 3 angstrom. At what angle will be the third order reflection? Third order. Okay. So what is asked here? So theta is to be determined for a third order. That means n is equal to 3 we have to substitute. So take a given values here. Wavelength is given. Okay. 0.5. Again all the things are in angstroms. No need of going for conversion. It cancels. Okay. So wavelength you write it as 0.5 angstrom and interplanar distance, that is d, is given here. So the suitable formula for calculating a glancing angle is 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. This is in accordance with your Bragg's law. Okay. So what is to be determined here? First we have to determine glancing angle. Okay. Theta is to be determined. So sin theta is equal to n is for the first order it is. So lambda divided by 2d you write down. Substitute the value of lambda 0.5, 2 into d is 3. So the answer will be this one. Now theta is equal to sine inverse of this value. It will be 4.78 degrees. Okay. So this is the smallest glancing angle. 2 glancing angles is to be determined. First one is the smallest glancing angle for K alpha radiation. The next is the glancing angle for third order reflection. Now we have to calculate glancing angle for third order reflection. So in place of n, you write down 3. Okay, 2d sin theta is equal to 3 lambda. Therefore, sin theta is equal to 3 lambda by 2d. Substitute the values. You will get sin theta is equal to 0.25 degrees. So therefore, theta is equal to sine inverse of 0.25, which is nothing but 14.48 degrees. Okay. So next problem. is calculate the glancing angle on the plane 110 of cubic, this must be cubic rock salt, okay, whose A value is given here into 2.81 angstrom corresponding to the second order deflection, okay, corresponding to the second order diffraction. Second order means n must be substituted as 2, okay, second order diffraction maximum for the X-rays of wavelength 0.71 angstrom. So again to calculate a diffraction maximum it is, okay, for the wavelength means again theta is to be determined. The same formula you are going to follow here, that is 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. Now in this formula just you check it out, what are the given values, what is to be what is needed, okay. So d is not mentioned directly, okay, so d is not mentioned anywhere in the problem. Theta is to be determined, second order they have given 2 and wavelength is given, okay, wavelength is given as 0.71 angstroms. So first we need to calculate d value, okay, as this is a cubic rock salt, okay, so use the formula d is equal to a divided by root of h square plus k square plus l square. So from this you determine the d value, interplanar spacing, that is a value is given as 2.81, h square is 110 plane, this is h square is 1 square plus k square is also 1 square plus 0 square. So if you do this calculation you will get it as 1.987 angstrom, okay. Now you use this formula, calculate a theta value, sin theta is equal to 2 lambda divided by 2d, substitute this with the ratio of this one. So theta is equal to sin inverse of 0.357, which is nothing but 20.94 degrees, okay. So this is the glancing angle for the second order diffraction, okay. Next problem, X-rays with wavelength, okay, wavelength is given here 1.54 angstrom are used to calculate the spacing of 200 plane, okay, in platinum. The Bragg's angle for this reflection is theta is given 22.4 degrees. What is the size of the unit cell of the platinum crystal? The size of the unit cell is nothing but A is to be lattice parameter, A is to be determined, okay. So in order to determine A, first we have to calculate a interplanar spacing, okay. So take down the same formula, 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. Because theta is given, lambda is given, you can determine d here, okay. So for the plane 200, d of 200 is equal to, just cross multiply it, n lambda divided by 2 sin theta, okay. Substitute the value of theta and lambda here, okay, 1.54 angstrom divided by 2 into sine of this one. So you will get the answer in angstroms itself, 2.02, okay. So now you take the formula for d as a divided by h square plus k square plus l square. As this is a 200 plane, I have substituted 2 square 0 square and 0 square a, and the d value is already known, so you put the d value here. So a is equal to, okay, cross multiply these two, okay, cross multiply, okay. After doing the calculation of this one you will get a by 2. So in order to calculate a, 2 into 2.02, that will be the size of the unit cell of the platinum crystal, okay. So next we shall discuss on the problems on free electron theory of metals, okay. So in this chapter usually the problems are based on the general ideas, that means the basic ideas we will be having regarding the topics, okay. So those basic ideas has to be used while solving the problem. Direct formula substitution will be very few problems will be there. Every time we have to make use of a basic laws of physics and we have to do the calculations, okay. So let us start the first problem under this chapter, that is calculate the drift velocity, okay. Velocity of the electron is to be calculated of the free electrons in a conductor of area 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Area is given here, 10 raised to minus 4 meter square area is given. The electron density to be 8 into 10 raised to 28 per meter cube, means this is your n value, concentration of the charge carriers when a current of 5 amperes flows in it, that is current is given. So list out the given values. I have not listed here. Please, all of you, list out these given values. What are the given values here? Area is given, that is capital A is given. Okay, N is given and capital I is given here. What is to be calculated? V is to be determined. Okay, now take a basic definition of the current density. Okay, current density is given by the expression N into E into V. Okay, this we have studied in the PU level. Okay, so how to define a current density here? Current density is nothing but a amount of current flowing in unit time across unit area of cross section. Okay, the current density, how we define here? The current density is nothing but a amount of current flowing in unit time across unit area of cross section. So this can be written as I divided by A into T. Unit time means 1 second you can take here. So simply this becomes I by A is equal to NEV. Okay. Now according to the given values here, now we can calculate a V value. So I is given, A is given, okay, and N is also given. The charge of the electron we know, okay, that we can substitute. Okay, do the substitution here. N is, that is I is 5 amperes divided by 8 into 10 raised to 28. Charge of an electron is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19. Area is given as 10 raised to minus 4. So do the calculation. The answer should be this much. Write down a unit for velocity as meter per second. Okay, the unit of velocity is meter per second. So next we shall move on to the another problem. Again, this problem is based on the basic definition. Okay, a metallic conductor carries a current of 1 ampere. Please note a given value. Current is given here. I is equal to 1 ampere. Its area of cross section is 1 centimeter square. Okay, look into this value carefully. This is given in CGS. While solving it, you have to convert this into meters. Okay, so its area of cross section is 1 centimeter square. The specific resistance of the conductor is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohms centimeter. Again, this needs to be conversion. Okay, this we have to convert here. Calculate the electric field inside the conductor. Okay, so resistance, that is specific resistance is given, means we can make use of a basic equation conductivity, because conductivity is nothing but it's a reciprocal of resistivity. So the conductivity expression is, it's a ratio of current to the field strength, electric field strength. Okay, so sigma is nothing but 1 over rho, or rho is equal to 1 by sigma. Just take a reciprocal of this E by I. So what is to be determined here? Electric field inside the conductor. This is to be determined. Okay, E is equal to I into rho. Now you say E is equal to I into rho. Okay, so I is nothing but I by A. In the previous problem we have used. Okay, I is nothing but, you want me to show that one? I is nothing but, that is current density is nothing but the amount of current flowing across unit area of cross section. So we have to make use of this in this problem. That is, in place of I, that is current density, what I am writing, the amount of current flowing divided by area of cross section. Okay, now you substitute all the values. Current is given as 1 ampere into density is given as 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm centimeter. In ohm meters, it will be 10 raised to minus 8. Okay, 1 centimeter square is given as area. So meter square means 10 raised to minus 2 whole square, or simply you write it as 10 raised to minus 4. So do the calculation. You will get electric field as 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 4. The unit of this one is volt per meter. Unit of electric field is volt per meter. Okay, so next one. Okay, we shall move on to the next another problem. The calculate electrical conductivity. Again, sigma is to be determined here. Calculate electrical conductivity of copper from the following data. Atomic weight of copper is given, and density of copper is given here, 8.94 into 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube. And the relaxation time of electron is 2.48 into 10 raised to minus 14 seconds. Okay. Now, so the formula what we have to use according to our derivation in our free electron theory, electric expression for electrical conductivity we derive. Okay. So there what we use is sigma is equal to Ne square tau by 2m. Okay, so these steps I have written to make you to understand how we will get this one. Suppose if you are unable to remember at the time of examination, you can go for a basic calculation what you are doing in electrical conductivity expression. Okay, so V bar we have calculated it as half E by m into tau, where tau is the relaxation time. Okay, so by definition of current density NEV, okay, in the previous problem we have used the current density is nothing but NEV. So you substitute the value of V here. Okay, so you will get the J as this much, Ne square into capital E divided by 2m into tau. Okay, so electrical conductivity is nothing but J by E. Okay, so E and E gets cancels, leaving behind Ne square tau by 2m. If it is possible, you remember this expression directly. Otherwise, you can get this expression from the basic ideas also. Okay, so now you substitute all the values are given for us. Okay, N is given. Okay, charge of the electron we know, relaxation time is given, and m, that is also given here. Now N is to be determined. Okay, number of electrons per unit volume is to be determined. So for that I am making use of the formula Avogadro number into density divided by atomic weight into number of free electrons per atom. Okay, so Avogadro number is 6.02 into 10 raised to 26. Density is given as 8.94 into 10 raised to 3. Atomic weight is given as 63.5. So number of free electrons is 1. Okay, therefore if you calculate, you will get the N value as this much. Okay, now you go on, substitute the value. Sigma is equal to N, you substitute this value. Okay, into E square, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 whole square. Okay, tau is given as 2.48 into 10 raised to minus 14. Okay, divided by 2, and m is mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. Okay, so if you calculate, you will get this as 2.964 into 10 raised to 7 moles per meter. Okay, moles per meter. It is a reciprocal of resistivity. Resistivity unit is ohm meter. So the unit of electrical conductivity is moles per meter. Okay, so this is all about the problem. So next, similar type of calculate the Fermi energy of lithium given the density 534 kg per meter cube and atomic weight 6.931 atomic units. Okay, so what is to be determined here? The Fermi energy is to be determined of lithium. Okay, the Fermi energy formula is this. Okay, h square divided by 2m into 3n divided by 8 pi v to the power 2 by 3. Okay, so again the n value is not given directly. This per unit volume means v, you can take it as unit value 1 you can take. Okay, so what is not given? H Planck's constant will be known, mass of the electron will be known, and only the unknown value is n. So again make use of this formula, determine the value of n. Okay, so substitute the value of Avogadro number. Okay, density is given as 534 and atomic weight is given as this much. So you calculate this value. Now you substitute all the values. H is 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34 whole square divided by 2m. Okay, into, so 4 into n value you substitute here divided by 8 pi to the power 2 by 3. Okay, do this calculation. I have written the calculation everything separately. So this calculation into this calculation I have written. Okay, use calculator in a proper manner. You will get this answer in terms of joules. Energy always will get in terms of joules. That we have to convert into electron volts. So to convert joules into electron volts, we have to divide the value by charge of an electron, that is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19. So if you do so, we'll get this as 4.69 electron volts. So the Fermi energy value comes out to be 4.69 electron volts. Okay, so next problem and the last one, this is the Fermi energy of silver is, Fermi energy is given directly 5.5 electron volt. Calculate the Fermi temperature, Fermi velocity and average energy. Okay, and average energy. Okay, so solution. Okay, so formula, what we have to do here, Fermi temperature. So first we shall calculate the Fermi temperature. So this is the formula. So this I have written in accordance with the E is equal to kT. Okay. So what the formula I have made use here in order to write down this expression, energy, the thermal energy is nothing but capital E is equal to K into T, where K is Boltzmann constant and T is the absolute temperature. Therefore, T is equal to E by K. So EF is given here, but it is given in electron volts. It should be taken in terms of joules. Okay, it is given in electron volts, so it should be taken in terms of joules. So in place of E, you write down 5.5 into 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19. So Boltzmann constant value will be 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23. So while solving the problem, you have to remember the basic values like Planck's constant, charge of an electron, mass of an electron, and Boltzmann constant. So usually in the problem they will mention. If they are not mentioned, if they have not mentioned, means you should able to use these values for your calculations. Okay. So please do the calculation. We will get the answer as the temperature as 6.385 into 10 raised to 4 kelvins. Okay. So next we have to calculate a Fermi velocity. So this is the formula I have written. This I have written on the basis of kinetic energy. Fermi is equal to half mv square. So what is the equation I have made use to write down this equation? Energy is equal to half mv square, because we have a energy value with us, 5.5 electron volt. So energy is equal to half mv square. Therefore V is equal to, so if you do cross multiplication and remove the square value here, so it will be under root 2 EF by m. So substitute the value again, 2 into EF, again you convert into joules, okay, divided by m, mass of the electron you write down. You will get this as 1.392 into 10 raised to 6. Okay. So Fermi velocity it is. So the unit will be meter per second. So lastly what we have to find out? Average energy. This we have done the derivation. The average energy of an electron is 3 by 5 times the Fermi energy. Okay. This we have done the derivation according to our syllabus. Okay. So average energy formula is, this is a direct formula, 3 by 5 EF. Now EF value is known. So no need of doing a conversion here. So if you do this conversion, you will get it in joules. Again back to EV you have to do. So straight away you take the value in terms of electron volts itself. Okay. So that the final answer will be in electron volts itself. Okay. 3 into 5.5 divided by 5. So this will be, so if after doing calculation you will get it as 3.3. The unit of energy is directly you are getting it in electron volts. So these are the problems regarding your module 2. Okay. So in the next video I will solve the problems on module 3. Thank you.